Followers of Christ Fellowship with Dr. Stephen Gray.
Remember last Monday I told you, and I told you Wednesday, it has begun. It has begun. That's what God said. I was laying on the floor last Monday night. I said, God, what's become? God says, I'm coming for my bride. I mean, you can't really preach in this stuff. You can't really think too much in this stuff. You just speak what he tells you. But I agree with Benny's word. I feel like the Lord's saying, just be prepared that he's changing us. He's doing a work in us. He's making us worshipers. We have to see we're in a new level, and this is a new season. It's a new season of revelation. And it's not about what we can figure out or what we can do or how we can navigate. It's God's doing this. He's doing this in us. You know, I was thinking this week, and I thought, okay, God, we're going to see. You said it's begun. Let's see what happens Sunday. But I know this. He said the focus from now on is going to be worship. That's what it's all about. We got to change our motivation. We got to be in love with him. That's what this worship, he's bringing us into this place. You know, when I first started going to Africa, I guess I've got to tell you this story. It just keeps it's like a replaying thing. It just keeps replaying in my brain. But when I would go to Africa back when the kids were young, I had a ritual where I would take each of them out for a week or 3 or 4 days just by themselves. And the boys would always want to go play putt-putt or go-karts, and Shelby'd always want to go shopping. So I'd take her to the mall, and she'd buy different things. And when she got to a certain point, she'd look in her purse and she'd say, okay, Daddy, that's it. You got to buy everything else from here on out. So I'd say, sure. So whatever you want, I'd buy it for her. That year, one of the years, I got ready to leave, and she had put a card on my suitcase. She said, don't open this till you get on the plane. And I said, okay. So I put it in my coat pocket, and I forgot about it until I got on the plane. And I think I still have it somewhere. But I opened the card. God reminded me, he said, remember that card? I said, oh yeah, and I took it out and opened it. It was a crayon picture of Africa and people. And inside was $20. And because I'd gone shopping with Shelby, I remembered that was the last $20 she had. She didn't want to spend it anymore. She said, I got to keep that $20. She said, this $20, it said on the card, for the work in Africa. So I remember when I held that $20 up and I said, well, I'll use it for this or that. And God said, no, you fold that $20 up and put it in your billfold, and I'll tell you what to do with it. So I said, okay. So I got to Africa and I really forgot about the $20, to be honest with you. That year we were doing a conference in Bagamoyo. We had about 60 Christians, pastors, whoever was a Christian was welcome. And there was a girl there, and I don't remember how we met her. She may have asked a question, but I remember at the end of the meeting, I was praying for people. And that girl kept trying to get to me. And she'd get about 10 feet away and the power of God would hit her, knock her down. They'd help her up. She'd start trying to struggle to the front and the power of God hit her, knock her down. So finally I told two of the guys, I said, lift that girl up and bring her up here. And I said, who are you? Because I'd never seen the power of God hit anybody. She said, I'm a missionary. I said, who you under? She said, just God. I said, what do you do? And she said, I work in the Muslim villages. I said, well, who supports you? And she says, God supports me. I get a cup of beans, or I get food or bread or a pencil. I have a Bible. But she says, I live with the Muslims. They take care of me as I minister to them. And I thought to myself, this girl is living by faith. I mean, I was humbled. I thought I was some missionary, and here this girl is she's just living on God. So I started to think, well, we need to pull her in under us, and we need to get her support and da-da-da. And I heard the Lord say, no. No. Don't you mess with her. It's kind of like what he was saying. Don't get involved with her. And one of the pastors came to me and said, what can we do to help her? Da, da, da. And I was praying about it, and I heard God say, you take that $20 out of your billfold that Shelby gave to you, and you give that to that missionary. And I said, well, Lord, I got $100. I give her $100. And God said, give her that $20. And here's what he said to me. He said, you can't give that girl $100 from you, because that $20 came from a woman who gave all she had, and that's going to that missionary who gave all she had. Whew. I felt the heart of God for Shelby's gift. I felt that somehow this little girl who I thought I was trying to teach something, taught me something of how do you touch the heart of God. She did. And I think God's showing me this because, worship's not singing, it's not dancing, it's not playing an instrument. Worship is being so in love with God that that's all that you can do, is just worship Him. I believe the glory's coming. I believe it's only going to get stronger and stronger. I don't know what we're going to do if it gets much stronger, but I can tell you this. When I go back and think of what happened to me in Africa and all that, and God told me when I experienced that glory in Africa, He said, what's coming in the last days is going to be 10 times stronger. But I can tell you what it's going to do. It's going to kill all your desires for this world. There's not going to be nothing left but your hunger and desire for God. And I know we've all got family and things around us. But I warn you, God's after all of it. I know we've all got worries and cares, but God's going to fashion a love within you for Him that's supernatural. So hold on. If you're watching this by video, I'm not talking too well because the glory is so heavy in here. So we're going to worship a few more songs. But I say to you that God is coming for His church. He's already here. He's already fallen in this place. I could have announced it Monday or Tuesday, but I said, no, I'm going to wait one more service and see what happens Sunday. Well, you testify to what God is doing in this place. And you yield to Him, and you let Him have access to your heart. He's looking for people that will give Him all they have. And He's not talking about money. He's talking about to give God all your heart, all your time. Just to be sold out. Like Jesus said in Gethsemane, not my will, Father, but yours be done in my life. So, Lord, I thank you for what you're doing in these last days. I thank you that you're pouring out something that's going to change your people. The ones that want to be changed, that are willing to be changed, you're going to change them. You're preparing them. You're preparing your bride to be in love with you. All I can say is, wow. Wow. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord.